Hey, everybody, appreciate it. Appreciate the opportunity to come on and share with you guys a little bit from down here in Florida. We made an adjustment this year at our school from 11-man to 8-man football. Found a lot of success. As you'll see the title on the screen, we just ran the damn ball. I think too often we try to get too fancy and do some things that we don't need to be doing with the talent we have, or the talent we have really forces us into just running the ball and sticking with it. That's what we found this year. So I'm going to share some things that we learned, and hope to hear back from some of you guys, and would love to share any film that we have. Wide open book. I'm going to share my contact information right here. My Twitter handle's there, email. I'm All Saints Academy, Winter Haven, Florida. So feel free to reach out to me at any point you'd like to. Some of the big things for us, a little bit of my coaching experience here. Coached quite a bit. This was our first year, like I said, coaching 8-man football, been 11-man. I've done a multitude of positions, just like all you guys probably have over the years. I've been blessed to be able to help start 2 programs. And here at All Saints Academy in the last 4 years, we've won 2 state championships in our Sunshine State Athletic Conference. And this year we were the AA 8-man state champions. This is our team after the game. Just have to share that. Pretty good looking crew, but you'll see in this next picture, we don't have just huge guys. We got 1 or 2 bigger kids up front, but overall we're not a huge team. We just found a way to run the ball, find some seams, do some things really that work for us throughout the year, throughout the last 4 years in our program. In 11-man, and now this year in 8-man as well. Any of you that are Seahawks fans, I definitely apologize, but one of the biggest things that's just a reinforcer to me every time I think about trying to get fancy and cute throwing the ball, which is not our forte overall, is remembering that Seahawks game where they threw the ball inside the 5-yard line with one of the best running backs in the game. So that was one of the biggest things for me why we stick with it. And I forget the coach that said it, but throwing the ball has 4 possible outcomes. 3 of them are bad: interceptions, sacks, incompletions. We used to talk about this a lot. I came out of a triple option flex bone offense for years when I first started coaching. So we're not against throwing the ball. I'm just against throwing it poorly. And if you beat a team with a deep pass, I know too many DCs and DB coaches, they blow it off. They say it's a mistake by that one player. We got this, no big deal. But if you just run the ball, play after play, down after down, you're going to dominate the time of possession. And not only that, you're going to demoralize that team. Because I can tell you the few times that it's happened to us, we're looking at each other going, what in the world are we going to do to stop this? And so it's part of the motivation that I have when I'm looking at my play sheet. Literally, I write this on my play sheet every game. I just put RTDB to remind me to run the damn ball. And we will run it over and over and over. And if they're not stopping a play, I'm going to stick with it. I'm not going to try to find something new. Oh, hey, if this worked, this will work better. We've run quarterback wedge in a game 14 times. You'll see as I get to some of our video, I ran our lead play against a team, and we could have run it 72 times that game and averaged about 8 yards a play, because there's a point that they get to feeling like there's nothing they can do to stop the ball. And for us, it really has become an identity that we run the ball well. It becomes a sense of pride, because if we're in a situation, our kids will come to me, even the quarterback will say, Coach, run 54 power, run this, run that, because they know it's something we're good at, and we rep it over and over and over at practice so that we are good at it. We joke around that we're an RPO team. Before it was cool because we just run power often. And again, we learn it, we rep it, we got good at it, and it's become something that we're known for. It's become something that's won us championships. So we're going to continue to stick with it until somebody really takes it away, because we have multiple plays off of it. We build off of it. Here's some of the things over the last 4 years that running the ball has gotten for us. We've run 3 division championships, we call them, in our conference in our state. We've run 2 state championships, reset the record books at our school. Every top record plus 3 to 4 out of the top 5 in every category. and twice we've broke the school record for most wins in a season. Our rushing attack this year, we were number 15 in the country as of the end of our season in total rushing and 8-man football. We were number 6 in all classifications here in Florida, 6, 8, and 11-man football, running the football. And scoring, we were number 10 in both 6, 8, and 11-man here in Florida. And we play some pretty good high school football. I'm a little biased from being here my whole coaching career. But we do a lot of pretty good football down here. We ended up number 10 in the state, and we definitely ran the ball a ton, as you'll see. Here's our stats the last 4 years. Our points per game and our success rate has gone up as we've continued to run the ball more. You'll see back in 2017, we were only 5-5. We ended up winning our state championship in the SSAC that year. We started out 1-4. The kids were trying to fight us on every turn. We had a coach that was with us from the previous team. Guys were sort of stuck in the old ways. And once they were convinced of what we were trying to accomplish and get done, we really had the ability to find some success. We actually installed the wishbone as a power run game. In our state championship game, we ran the wedge for 14 times. We averaged about 6.5 yards per carry. We could run it at will, and it just wore down the other team, and it won us a championship. We were 21-point underdogs that game, and we won by 11. Only scored 14 points a game roughly that year. You'll see then the next year we really made an all-out commitment to the run. We put in the diamond pistol. These first 3 years were 11-man football. We ran for 2,946 and increased the scoring, more than doubled it. 2019, we had a bunch of injuries midway through the year. Still did pretty well, ended up 7-3. Then this year, due to numbers, we ended up playing 8-man. Our high school has 165 kids in the high school. So we went 9-1, avenged our only loss in the state championship game. And we ran the ball for over 3,300 yards, scored 44 points a game. So it definitely has really worked well for us. And our passing, we averaged well over 15 yards a completion when we look at it, because the run does such a good job setting up the pass for us. In our 3 playoff games down the stretch, we ran the ball 111 times, 1,074 yards. We threw it 3 times, 2 times, completed it 60 yards, and 1 touchdown. And again, we just wore teams down. Our guys took pride. Going into the playoffs, they told us that nobody's going to be able to stop our run game, and that's what we worked on to make happen. We played some excellent teams in the playoffs. Our state semifinal game, we played the 2-time Florida state champs, and we ran the ball on them for 460 yards. Completely changed the pace of the game. They're a big-time spread team, have a stud quarterback, very experienced coaching staff, and our guys were just able to execute our run game to find a success. State championship game, we played a single wing team, and they were very, very well coached. Defense, we had to do a lot of homework on them. A lot of guys I reached out to across the country, and 8-man out in the Midwest and Texas, Iowa, different places that helped us out a lot. And we just decided we were going to run the ball, and that's what got us there. We were going to stick with it, and at the end of the night, that's what got us the championship trophy. A little bit of our philosophies, and again, these are nothing special. So many of you guys watching this, I'm sure, already have these things in place, but these are just some things that we remind ourselves of, and we instill in our kids year in and year out. This past year, we were able to graduate our seniors we started with as freshmen. So these philosophies were sort of really ingrained with them. We want to keep it simple. The old KISS principle. And since our team mascot is the Saints, I'm going to be nice and politically correct and say it's keep it simple Saints. I think we all know what it means. And it's really not about what we know as a coach. It's about what we can get that 16-year-old kid who was just on his Snapchat in pregame, until the last possible minute we told him to get off the phone, what we can get that kid to execute. And I've been with some great coaches over the years since I started coaching back in '94. coached with guys that have coached at the college and pro level, but some of them had so much knowledge they couldn't get it imparted to that 16-year-old kid to execute. So I think sometimes we outcoach ourselves instead of outcoaching the team we're playing on the field that Friday night between the white lines. So we try to make sure we remember this and not try to add a bunch of schemes or what we saw someone else do. I love going to clinics, college clinics. I go to UCF and the UF clinics, those guys. We can't emulate everything that they do, but it's some of those principles and philosophies that we can learn from them that I get my 16-year-old 0-star kid to execute instead of trying to do stuff for a 5-star kid. One of our biggest things is we make what we do hard to defend, but easy to install. I am big on cheap installs, but we will do stuff out of multiple formations. We'll put some window dressing with motion just to make teams look away from it. That's been very successful for us in a lot of cases. And, make it where one kid's responsibility changes on a play, not having to change 5 different guys and everyone has to learn 5 different blocks. We change 1, maybe 2 kids' responsibilities on a play. And out of one of my base plays, I now have 4 to 6 plays for each one. And again, I will throw the ball when it's there and when we set it up, but we want to make them defend every yard of the field. So I'm going to make them defend sideline to sideline. I will attack the wide side of the field. I'll run the narrow side of the field. I will also, we'll go weak, we'll go strong, we'll run in the middle, and then we're going to throw the ball and we'll take deep shots every chance we get. Been reading a great book I got, just came out about teaching, basically coaching football like a basketball coach. So we've been doing this for the last 4 years since we've been at All Saints. Our head coach and I have been here together. We were at a previous school together for a year, and we try to teach the concept, not an absolute. And our kids are very cerebral kids. We're a very high academic school, so we can teach concepts to them. But if we teach them an absolute of you have to block this defensive end on this play for it to work, if that kid moves, our guys might overthink it. So we teach the concept of, hey, we're trying to create an alley here, a seam here. We're trying to, create a mismatch on this particular play. So our guys learn concepts. And on our basketball team, we've got 9 guys on our basketball team that play football with us. So teaching the concept really has been successful for us over the last several years as well. I am very big on this. And again, I've been a part of several great staffs. But I've seen too many guys and heard about too many guys that'll install in preseason and they'll have 160 plays in the playbook, but they won't run it for 3 weeks. And then week 4, they try to run a play in the middle of a game that they have not repped repeatedly for the kids to be comfortable with it. And then the kids mess it up and then it becomes a big blow up between the kids and the coach and guys are upset. So I don't want to put my kids in a horrible situation. So if we do not practice it that week, we don't run it in the game. There may be a handful of times over the few years that we've run something. We said, hey, remember this from week 2 that was a variation of something. And again, going back to we teach the concept, not an absolute. So they've already learned the concept. One of the other biggest things that's been successful for us is installing everything in groups. Again, definitely not a novel concept, but it's been successful for us. It's the way our kids think that if I'm putting in my quarterback power play, then at the same time I'm installing that, we're putting in our counter off of it. I'm putting in my option play off of it. I'm putting in a play action pass. And then I'm putting in, if we're going to run it strong, if we're going to run it weak, we run it with motion, without motion. So we try to install those plays in groups because, again, I really feel like it reinforces the concept idea for our run game. And it's been very successful for us over the last several years, especially the last 3, once we really got our systems in place. And this applied when we were 11-man football and 8-man. And I think it helped us make the adaptation from 11-man to 8-man this year is because we've installed them in groups and we made it similar to where we were with them. We found success. A lot of teams say they're either, they're a air raid offense, they're a spread gun, their spread this, spread option, triple option. We really don't tag ourselves as that so much to say we're only one thing. And I heard Rick Darlington, that's now at Enterprise High School in Alabama, used to be state champion coach here in Florida at Apopka. One of his clinics, he said only a dumb mouse has one hole that they go to. So if we only ran the power stuff, we would not be successful at all. Or if I only ran my triple option stuff, we would not be as successful as we were. So we try to run what's successful for us and what we do. We certainly have an identity from the power, but we won't go and just try to do only that to the detriment of our success. Biggest thing, and this is the second thing I write on our play sheet every week, do what you do. And again, you run what you know. That goes back to us running the ball, running the power, running some of the plays I'll show you in just a few minutes here. I don't believe in trying to be a second-rate copy of somebody else when you can be the best version of you that you can possibly be. So I'm not going to try to copy UCF, even though I've loved what they've done over the last several years. UF, Alabama, all those successful programs. I can't copy them and be successful what they do with their athletes. So I've got to do what we do with our athletes and what we know with our kids, and that's been successful. So for us, we look at all our game film, and by the end of the season, I've typically got 5 to 8 game films on teams. When we played our team in the state championship this year, we had every game that they had played this year. And our offense is designed to beat the best team and best player we play. Also, one of the biggest things, I think so many times nowadays, the quarterback is so protected in football, or if you're in an air raid type offense, you're essentially playing down one. For us, we have found the last 4 years, our quarterback has been one of our top rushers. Some games he was the top rusher, especially with injury. Our last season of 11-man, I had lost 5 of my starters. My quarterback was carrying the ball 20 to 28 times a game down the stretch. And it was a definite equalizer because defenses forget sometimes about that quarterback that he's going to be able to run the ball. So we do that. We make them have to account. And again, it goes back to one of my philosophies. We want them to have to defend every yard of the field. Well, they can't go double cover somebody and leave us with the quarterback, nobody watching him and spying him. So it gives us a lot of the matchups when we do go to our pass game that we want, where they can't bracket guys. They also can't send 2 guys wherever the best running back goes because they never know when we're going to run the ball with that quarterback. And again, everything we do is pretty much based off our power. We make it very simple for our offensive line. And some years as the OC and assistant head coach, I've even had to coach the O-line because we've had small numbers on our coaching staff. So I bounced back and forth. So we had to make it simple. And we take care of first level first. Now, when I was a triple option guy, everything was about veer release, get to the second level, seal that. We want to handle that first level first, big on big up front. I want fat guys on fat guys, backs on backs. Our number one thing that we teach our O-line and we teach our running backs, because they're heavily involved in our blocking and our pass game, and they block for each other. Take care of the most dangerous man. Pretty simple, but I think sometimes these guys get too focused on the things downfield and looking at the next guy instead of the first guy they've got to block. So we always, we do drills all the time. We make them have to block that guy at the line of scrimmage, taking care of the most dangerous man. I don't reward pancakes. I'm not one of these guys that will have a bottle of syrup on the sideline looking for our kids to pancake. We just want to create vertical seams. We've been blessed with a running back you'll see in the film. He's pretty good. He's able to create some opportunities for himself. If we give him enough of a sliver of daylight, he's going to break through there. So we don't focus on pancaking guys. We focus on getting your feet in the ground, getting that first power step, stepping off the ball, turning a shoulder, and getting a seal so that we create an alley. And that's been successful for us this year. Now I'm going to go through, and again, please feel free to reach out to me. I've got a ton of our game films from 11-man and 8-man I'd be glad to share with you, as long as you're not on our schedule. We'll share these with you. But our biggest thing, our base offense, number one, like I said, we teach first, is our power. And this is the first year we've ever had a young team, JV type level. We call it D League in our conference, and it's for 6th through 10th grade. And with our guys, the first play that I taught to those guys was quarterback power. And it was also the first play that we had of their season. And you'll see here, we just run a base I formation on this. 3-man line for 8-man. Occasionally we'll go to a 5. Basically, what we want to do, I want my fullback and this tackle. We've got to seal this guy. This is our most dangerous man. We're going to come here, get a seal on him. My halfback should be coming looking for the next level. Our wide receivers, they know no block, no rock. I stole it from Scott Frost. They've got a block here. Our quarterback does a pretty decent job of reading this play. I'd like to see him get more just quick step vertical and go. He rounds it a little bit, but you'll see we still get the result we were looking for. And here again, this running back helps here. This 21's already taken himself out the play. So now we're still creating this concept of getting here. Quarterback makes a nice move. Receiver was very smart, not blocking in the back, gets us a touchdown. Now this is from last year, a little bit of our 11-man concept. We ran the pistol diamond. We'd break it a little bit. I'd bring my guy up here for that wing look, and this is our quarterback power play out of that. Seal it up inside. Their end was doing a good job getting upfield. And we just create some alleys for the quarterback to run to. This is our wildcat look. And again, we teach the concept so the running back can step right in. Now, right here, looks like we're outnumbered this way. This tackle should be coming here. Our wings got a seal here. And now I've got 2 backs that are coming here trying to steal these guys. Now this kid ended up being our all-state running back this year, able to make some guys miss. But he finds the seam, makes some cutbacks, but we handled the most dangerous man at the point of attack. Now this was our base formation last year. We'd use motion, pull some guys over, and to give our guys an advantage moving outside. We got that edge sealed, found some success with it. And again, it's just something that our team knows we can run well. Now here it is back for us in our 8-man, our base I formation. With the blockers there, we fumble that snap a little bit, have some issues. Quarterback's still able to make a gain. Apologize, the film's a little choppy here. This is a team, we ran the ball for about 570 yards on these guys. We were over 600, but had some penalties, took some yardage off the board. But really just, we can do the same thing, same formation. I put in some beef, got a seal on the edge. Guys are very unselfish in our offense. We're trying to make some things happen. Move the back over, give it sort of a wing look. Our all-state running back on that one gives a lead block, sacrifices himself so the quarterback can go score. And again, here out of the wing, we just look for where the seam is. Fullback does a good job. So we can run it out of a variety of what we do. I'm going to sort of fast forward here for the sake of time. You see this basic concepts. And again, we keep it simple for ourselves when we do this. This is our state championship game. We go to a 5-man line. they're going to try to pack the box. And again, then it becomes even more crucial. We try to create those vertical seams. What we do is we kick out here, fullback at lead, halfback comes through. You needed to cut that up inside. It's big on our quarterbacks having to have good vision. Sometimes they overthink it. Again, state championship, we ran it out of the gun. Makes the defense have to adjust to something else. Ran it to the narrow side of the field just to set it up for later that they had to defend sideline to sideline. Now, this is our power trap. Again, one of the variations we put in off of it. Instead of having my linemen, we just have them essentially zone block. Now I use this fullback. He's going to kick out on this guy here, and we have some success with this play. And this power trap we put in for the playoffs specifically because we knew some of these teams were scouting us. This was our first round playoff game. We put in some of the big fellas. We didn't get a seal, and looks ridiculous. Makes me want to throw my headset down on the sideline, but decide not to do that because I don't want it coming out of my paycheck either. Again, this is our Wildcat look. Put our running back down there. This time we get those seals. He finds a seam, got us a touchdown. Then we go into our lead plays, most basic play in offense, but I'll run through a few of them for you. And again, they're putting 5 guys up in the box. We just need one lead block and a seam. And this kid can make a few guys miss. And again, this was the first play of one of our games, just called a base play to see what they were going to do. We got everything sealed to the outside. Wide receivers did a good job. Takes it 75 yards to the house. Gets us a touchdown. This is our state semifinal. This was a 2-time state champ we're playing. We went back to the 5-man line. We find just that right seam. They did a heck of a job right off the ball, but we got that little vertical seam. He was able to find a touchdown. And this team we were playing here the year before, they were 11-man as well. They went 2 rounds deep in our state playoffs. And this is a little bit later into that game. And they were trying to figure out how to defend this formation. Earlier they had 5 guys in the box. Then they moved their guys back a little bit just because we found that vertical seam. So concept's the same. Guys just need to find a little bit, move somebody just a little bit so he gets a little bit of vision to be able to run the ball. And then we have our variations off of this. We had to go for 2. We lined it up, and we ran a lot to the strength side in the first round of playoff and the semifinal, just to try to get guys to really sort of look at it a different way. So this time we ran it with a fake reverse, draw their eyes away. He was able to get into the end zone. And this time we give him the same look, going the other way, and we gave it to the reverse, and he's able to find it to the house. And again, just keeping them honest, running some of the dive. And when we run the dive, I like to try to carry out the option typically, or we'll run a double dive look. This is my defensive lineman. We gave a chance to run the ball at some fullback. And again, a lot of times they'd be keying on our all-state guy back here at running back. So the dive takes their eyes away from that deep back, and they forget about the short guy. This one we call double dive. Backs just split. Gave us some good yardage we needed. And again, just the basic philosophy of we're going to stick with it. And we reinforced to our guys, especially going into this game, hey, this is 3 yards in a cloud of dust, or in this case, since it was a turf field, a cloud of pebbles, was a win for us. So these dives just remind them that we can get 3 yards and still be successful on a play. Again, the power trap we showed earlier was a good play for us. We ran a lot of trap with our wing as well, designed for the halfback to get it. Just a zone block. And then he's going to kick out, create a seam for our guy to get vertical on. Gives them the same look out of formation. Also, they have to adjust to a different strength with him being on the other side. So it sort of moves that defense for you and creates some opportunities. Again, this is our power trap with my young quarterback. Running back does a heck of a job getting in front of him, gets us a block. We find a little bit of success with it. And just wrapping it up, basically, like I said, keeping it simple, do what you do, be who you are, teach what they can learn, run what's going to beat your best team on your schedule and the best player. The schemes are going to be expensive to have a bunch of different schemes. Formations are going to be really cheap to install. So that's been a successful thing for us through the years, for sure.